Good morning. Good morning. You know what? I'm going to be right back. I'm going to grab a light. It was not this dark before. One sec. All right. Let there be light. How's everybody doing? How's everybody smelling? Should be a little better. Maybe not. Let's get it a little closer then. I know I'm in front of the window, so obviously I could help the light by not being in front of the window, but I just wanted you guys to see this sky. Like, wow. How's everybody doing? See, Gerard's here. A back-to-back top fall list. Yeah, this is on. There we go. Keep hitting that button on the back. This is kind of a top fall list, but more of a preview to a top fall list that will not be like a typical top fall list, if that makes any sense. Shiva, hello. I see Ralph is here from the Philippines. Hello, hello. Who else is here? Yeah, if you're here, just go ahead and drop a message. Say where you're coming from and what you're smelling like, if anything. No obligation to be wearing a fragrance, of course. It is not a prerequisite to enter the stream. I'm wearing a beanie because my hair is a mess, but I figured, you know what? It kind of works with fall. A little bit of headgear. Juan, good morning from Central Washington. Good to see you. You're not far from me. Ryan Bailey, B612. Man, what a perfect scent, especially for the fall time. But I imagine it's probably still warm where you are, Ryan. How warm is it in California? Ralph is wearing Ard Al Zafaran Oud, 24 Hours Majestic Gold. What a name. That is a long name. Clone of Stronger With You Leather. Okay. Creed Tabaron, State of Missouri. Rock, it's good to see you. Gerard, that backdrop so does not look like fall. What are you talking about, man? At least here where I'm at in Oregon, the sky gets like this in the fall time. At least to me, this looks like extra blue. And during this time of the year is when it does that. So that's fall to me. But you can kind of see a little bit of leaves changing. It's kind of hard to tell, but they're changing. I see husband and father of two is here from Detroit. Ani, good stuff. Stuart Long. Stuart, thanks for being here. Sweetheart, Mansa, do you mean Mansa Musa? If so, I have that one and it's lovely. Muddy in England. Spiritus de Bouvigny, good stuff. We have, I'm sorry, I do not want to butcher your name. I think you're from South Africa and you're wearing Club de Nuit Intense Man Pure Parfum. I do apologize. I will practice your name, but I'm not going to practice it here live because it's just not going to be good. But that one sounds good. I haven't tried that one from the line. Let's see. Greg, good to see you. Thomas Cosmala, number 4. I keep hearing about that one. I haven't tried the brand yet. Clark Jackson. Okinawa. Okay, we're in Florida 89. All the way from Okinawa. All right. Oh, Ryan, you're in Fresno. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I knew that. 96. Yeah. But 65 sounds nice. The Kobe in California. Harrod's Porom. I haven't tried that one, but I hear it's great. Yeah, money for sure. That's expensive stuff. Joe Young from Atlanta, leaning towards Overture. Good stuff. Cam, what's up? Good to see you. Brian B31 from Connecticut, wearing pie. You mean the just PI, I guess. Pie, PIE, that's something totally different. But yeah, Pie by Givenchy. That's a classic. Dewan Hunter. I still got to try his Parfum de la Nuit. Is it Parfum de Nuit? I don't know what the L stands for, but I need to try that collection. Everyone keeps bringing that up. Let's see. Rob, good to see you. Good morning, Rob. Hope you're well. Kevin, Lanvin Avant Garde. Ooh, a discontinued classic. Yeah, Stuart, I got you. No problem. EJ, what's going on, man? Thanks for being here. Cam, we're in L'Immensité. Hey, man, that's one of my favorite basics. That's a great one. Anthony Hill in Dallas, GFS. Solid pick. Wore that maybe a few days ago. Seth, how are you? I'm great. Thank you. Uh, let's see. None of your business. Michael by Michael Kors, the original. I still got to try that one. I hear the re-release is a shadow or maybe a totally different scent altogether. We see TLTG Ross is in the house. What's up, man? We're just bouncing around from each other's streams. Thanks for being here. What are my thoughts on Hugo Boss Private Accord, the scent? That's funny. I haven't smelled that since it came out. And when I did smell it, I smelled it in a Sephora or it was a Macy's. I was in a Macy's a few years ago. I saw it there. It was brand new. It had just dropped. I said, oh, let me give it a spray. Now I sprayed it on paper. And on paper, it smelled like a Tootsie Roll. It smelled just like a Tootsie Roll. If you've had a Tootsie Roll, then you know what that smells and tastes like. And I was not having it. I was like, I don't want to smell like this. Now, again, that was on paper. I have not revisited it. That's always so weird to say revisited it since. And obviously, it's gotten rave reviews. So I should probably go back to it. Santal Extreme, Aaron Terrence Hughes. That's a good one. That is a good one. I have a 10 mil of that somewhere. Vape for Fun, Naxos from Zerjoff. All right. Classic. Stuart, you bought Tabak. Man, you bought it blind. I know that was probably your only option, but all I'm saying is just be open, you know. The blind buy is a gamble, but I do hope you enjoy it. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right, Dewan. Parfum de la Nuit. That's why I was messing it up. I was like, oh, Parfum de la Nuit. Yes, 7.5. That's good. This is Penny, everyone. She is really looking for attention this morning. Seth, Justin, does having many fragrances and rotating them help with my olfactory fatigue? That's an interesting question. So I feel like there's layers to peel back there. It sounds like you're experiencing olfactory fatigue in general, like with every fragrance you wear, you can't smell it after a while. I'm gonna need some more data there. Okay, everyone's here. We've been live almost 10 minutes. Thank you all for being here, and thank you all for just bringing all these great smelling fragrances into the chat, infusing some newness. We got some unusual ones. You guys have some good taste. That's what we do here in the Fresh Squad. It's all about good, unique, individual taste. If you wear the basic stuff, that's fine too. I'm not trying to say that's not okay, but wear what you love. That's what matters the most. What you love. If other people like it too, awesome. Okay. So here's what's happening today. It is in the description of the video, at least it should be. But this video is a preview. I decided to do a live preview to an upcoming video. Now, again, many of you guys may have seen my vlog from last fall. I did a fall vlog for my niche fragrances for the year, rather than just sit in front of the camera. I'm gonna have to be dealing with this the whole morning. Rather than just sit in front of the camera and say, hey guys, here are my 10 fall niche fragrances, and have 72 of you watch the video. I decided I would change it up last year and say, you know what, I'm going to give you guys a vlog. I'm going to give you a look into my day-to-day life, and I'm going to integrate the niche fragrances I was wearing into that vlog and just portray them in a different format out in the world, wherever I happen to be, in my car, at a performance, walking outside, whatever it may be. And I had a lot of fun doing that video. It was a lot of work. It was probably like 2 hours of footage that I had to edit down to an hour, but it was so much fun. And I was kind of blown away by the feedback from you guys, especially those of you who watched it all the way through. So if you haven't seen that video yet, it should be linked in the description. You can go check it out after this and just kind of get a taste for what I'm talking about. So for the past 10 days, I've been filming a vlog. I've been filming every day for the past 10 days, roughly 8, 9, 10. I don't know exactly. And yeah, I've just been kind of taking you guys along wherever I'm going. I've been showing you my scent of the day. I've been sharing some pretty cool niche fragrances. And I'll be wrapping up that video probably at the end of this month, early next month. I have a couple events I do want to get into the video that will happen later this month, so I'll be extending it until then, and all the fragrances along the way will be in there. And at this point, there's probably 12 to 15 fragrances I featured in the video, probably with another 10 to go. So there's going to be a lot of fragrances crammed in this video. I'm going to see if I can make it shorter than an hour this time around. We'll see about that. But what I wanted to do today was to build a little bit of hype around it, because again, it's so much work. It's a lot of fun, and I want you guys to enjoy it. I want to bring it to your awareness. So I have 5 of some of the newest fragrances in my collection that are already featured in that video. I've already worn them over the past week or so, and they've already made it into the video. And I just want to give you a little preview. These are fragrances that I mostly haven't spoken about yet. I'd say 2 of them I have not spoken about at all. 2 of them I've spoken about very briefly with almost no information, although 2 of them, those 2 were a live first impression, but I hadn't worn them yet. And then 1 of them I've actually had for a year, but I haven't really talked about it much, and it's perfect for the fall. I've already worn it in the vlog, and I loved it and forgot how much it's fantastic for the fall. So I'll be featuring that one first. Okay, so just wanted to get that spiel out of the way so you know why we're all here on this glorious Saturday. And let's just dive into it. Okay, so first one up, as I said, again, Penny's down here on my lap. I'm going to be spraying fragrances, so she's going to have to leave. Otherwise, she's going to hate life. But she's so freaking cute. Just look. How could you let that go? That's not fair. Penny. Here, I'm going to give you a choice, Penny. So the first fragrance we're going to talk about is from Kilian. This is called, I don't know if that's going to focus. I'm messing around with the new setup here with my new phone. I was hoping it would have an autofocus, but it looks like that's not the case. We'll deal with that later. But from here, you can see it. Apple Brandy on the Rocks from Kilian. Again, not new. I got it last year from the brand. And I liked it back then, but I really like it now. Okay, so there goes Penny. The plan worked. I'm going to give this a spray. This is a lovely scent. It is reminiscent of the original. I've only smelled that one time. I don't want to spray this on her. You got to be real careful around cats and fragrances. They're very, very sensitive to them. So I got this last year. I enjoyed it last year, but somehow it just really grew on me. I featured it here and there, maybe 3 times since I got it. Not a whole lot. It is one that I've learned Grace absolutely loves. Every time I wear it, she says I smell yummy. Again, it is similar to the original, but it is fresher. So the original, if you're not familiar with it, because it's discontinued, real hard to find. First of all, let me know if you've tried this one down in the chat. Let me know if you've already checked this out. This is just quintessential fall vibes here. This is extremely woody. And the original was the same. When I first smelled the original, I put my nose on it and I was like, this is apple brandy? It didn't really smell boozy. It was a little bit appley, but it was mostly a lot of oak. So woody, super dry, super woody, but in a warming way that's kind of enveloping and kind of transportive. And then as you let it sit for a bit, yes, you get a bit of this boozy vibe. You get a bit of this apple, but I think that there technically may not be apple and or brandy in that original fragrance. I think I remember seeing that in the note breakdown. It was kind of strange, but you get the vibe. There's a crisp fruitiness to it that is not overly sweet, but it's like a very, very ripe apple in the fall time, juicy, fruity, a little bit of this kind of sweet, boozy undertone, but mostly dry woods. They took that and they made it fresher. On the Rocks is very, very appropriate. I think there's like a cardamom vibe in here that freshens the scent, makes it a little bit more cooling, but ultimately still very woody. And I think by making it more cool, the apple is even fresher. It's more crisp. It's like being out on a day like this, picking an apple from the orchard and taking a bite. We'll wipe it off first, guys. Wash it. And then take a bite. And then you can smell like the wood of the tree and all that. It's gorgeous. And it's really wearable. It's very, very versatile. It does come off a little bit. It comes off a little elegant, but it can also be kind of a cozy scent. I could say you could easily just wear this in. In fact, that's what I did when I wore it the other day. I just wore it at home. Grace came home and she was like, oh my gosh, what is that? And she said that every time. She likes woody scents. This is good stuff. Apple brandy on the rocks. Again, it will be in the vlog. I look forward to showing you guys the context of when I was wearing it and just seeing it again more in a real world fashion rather than just me here, which is, I guess, what I'm doing at the moment. Okay, let's move on. I don't want to just harp on every fragrance for 15 minutes here. I got to catch up on your comments. Let's see. Some folks checked out the vlog from last year. I really appreciate that. Rockus is saying, don't shorten it. Charge admission, broadcast, and IMAX. That would be awesome, right? Okay, let's keep it moving. Okay, so that was, again, the oldest of the new fragrances here. Let's move on to this guy. We're going to start kind of fresh and maybe get darker unofficially. Let's do this one here. This is from Masque Milano. I have smelled it and I have actually featured it in a video, but it was a live stream like this back when I got it. I gave it a spray on skin and gave you my first impressions. But since then, I've worn it a couple times, including just a couple days ago. And this is an interesting take on an aquatic scent. And I did not expect it to make it into my fall lineup. But after wearing it, I was like, you know what? There's something about this, even though it's aquatic, that works for the fall. Kind of unusual. This is called White Whale. Again, I'm going to have to, unfortunately, hold it back here so you can read it clearly. Ironically enough, White Whale, one of their newest releases. They released 2 at once this year. The other one is called Sleight of Fern. That's also a lovely scent, but I need to spend more time with it. I'll probably include it in the vlog. I just haven't worn it yet, at least not in the past couple of weeks, but I have worn it one time and I enjoyed it. Wore it to a wedding that I had to play at, and it was lasting all day. It was really nice. But we're talking about white whale. This, again, is an aquatic, but it's an ambery aquatic. Again, such a strange combination. There is a sweet, resinous warmth here. Also, lots of incense. So it is a smoky aquatic. If you've ever smelled Oud Mineral from Tom Ford, it leans that way, but imagine that fragrance a little less smoky and sweet in an ambery way. But if you haven't smelled that, that's okay. Just imagine something that smells like sea salt, like a marine, maybe even ambergris, kind of musky, just reminiscent of the smell of the sea, with woods, with some smoky incense. So it has this kind of dry, cooling smokiness to it. That's not like fire, but it's like incense. And then you have this warm sweetness. Again, this ambery nature just kind of, as the foundation. Very different. It is fresh. It is reminiscent of the water, but it is warm and rich all at the same time. So if you're looking for an aquatic that you could kind of wear all year round. Rockus, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. And enjoy soccer. If you're looking for an aquatic that could shine all year round, this is one of them. It is a little bit of an acquired taste. It's not going to be like your Aqua di Gio. It's not going to be like Nautica Voyage, that type of aquatic. No, this is composed a little bit more with more nuance, less cleanliness, more transportiveness, so to speak. It's niche. Anyway, this one made it into the vlog. I can't wait to show you more about it when I was wearing it. Lovely stuff. Very, very different aquatic. That's white whale. Again, and all these fragrances should be down in the description. In the description. In the description. I need to practice saying that. In the description. In the description. There we go. Okay. Moving on. What are we going to do next? Let's do this one next. This one I have not talked about at all in a video. But if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it. If you don't follow me on Instagram and you have an Instagram, we need to talk. Playing, it's not that serious. Okay, so this is coming from Fragrance du Bois. They did send this to me. Now, frankly, I've seen some reviews. I did check out some reviews after I got it, because when they sent it, they didn't tell me what they were sending. I got it in. I smelled it, and while I was smelling, I was looking on Fragrantica, checking out the reviews, and I saw a lot of disappointment. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, have I showed it to you yet?" No, I'll show. I'll just make it suspenseful. People were disappointed. They were saying, "Oh, it doesn't really last for the price. It's so expensive, and it doesn't really last long on my skin." And that seemed to be the primary complaint. And so I was like, "Okay, well, let me keep an eye on that when I wear it." I wore it. And I can kind of agree. It doesn't really last that long. This is not a beast fragrance. Now, one thing that I've talked about in terms of niche fragrances on this channel, I've kind of broken down niche into 3 main expectations that we have. A lot of us have. When we buy niche, we expect quality, we expect uniqueness, and we expect performance. Now, for me, performance is not something I absolutely expect, but I know for a lot of you guys, you do expect that. But I'm in the camp that says I can enjoy a scent even if it doesn't last all day. If it smells great, I'm going to enjoy it. And this is a 100 milliliter bottle, so you'll have it for a minute anyway, even if you got to keep spraying it. If you love it, I'm not saying go buy this stuff. This is called London Spice. Have you guys tried this one from Fragrance du Bois? Man, this is a lovely fragrance to wear on a day like this when you are a little bit more upscale, more elegant, when you're dressed up, not like I am now in a t shirt and a beanie, maybe, a crisp button down. You don't need a tie or anything like that. Maybe some nice slacks, anything that feels a little bit more fancy for the daytime. This is perfect for that. It just has a really nice vibe. It smells like the fall time outdoors during the day. It is just really uplifting, but also kind of, again, elegant. This is almost a fougere. I'm still getting to know this. I've worn it one full time. Again, it was probably the first fragrance I wore in the vlog, if I remember correctly. And I was surprised by it. I was like, man, this is like, it's kind of a fougere. It's almost like a barbershop feel. There's like a fresh, definitely spicy quality, maybe a little bit of geranium in there. So it has this fresh mintiness. It does smell kind of like a fougere. Again, that fresh spiciness, maybe a little bit of like sweet coumarin or tonka bean, kind of making this creamy sweetness in the base. It's really pleasant. I'm still getting to know it. I don't have a to say about it right now. I think I said more about it in the vlog because I was wearing it on my skin. I had it around me, so I had just more data to share. But definitely one I enjoy, and at least so far, I can't say I love it, but I do like it a lot, and I will be featuring it in the upcoming vlog. So do check it out if you haven't already. Maybe get a sample. I think I have a link down below for Decant X. Don't blind buy this bottle, but I think Decant X does carry it. I have a link down with them, and of course, a little discount code. Get you some money off. So if you're interested in it, you can check it out there. Okay. Now, the next two fragrances, the last two fragrances are tobacco fragrances. All right. Let's see here. Cam, Bulgar aquamarine vibes, maybe in that realm. If you're talking about white whale, yeah, it would be more in that realm if you're going to compare it to a designer fragrance that's aquatic. Ryan, I should read for those guided sleep meditation. Sorry to put you back to sleep, but thank you. Hey, Gerard. Yeah, so you look sounds like you've tried London Spice. Um, Eliezer. I'm sorry if I say your name incorrectly. Welcome to the stream. I was just talking about London Spice from Fragrance du Bois, if you missed it. Dewan said he's tried it. Good stuff. David, Goldendale, Washington. Good to see you. All right. EJ says tobacco is one of his favorites. Tobacco is one of my favorites too, especially for the fall. It is kind of too perfect for the fall. Now, we're talking about like deep fall, maybe on those cooler days, cooler nights. Now, frankly, the two fragrances I'm going to talk about again have already been worn, and it was still relatively warm when we wore them, me and Grace, but we still wanted to include them in there. I'll probably wear them some more. The first one we'll talk about is coming from Precious Liquid. And this is one that they call Tobacco Royal. Remember the name of this fragrance because it'll be tied to the next one. Tobacco Royal. And frankly, this is a fragrance that in the vlog, at least so far, Grace wore it on the same day that I wore the next fragrance I'll talk about. We wore them together. This is, yeah, it's perfectly unisex. A lot of women may not find tobacco to be the most wearable for them. So, a lot of guys tend to gravitate towards tobacco. So even though I'm saying Grace wore it, Grace tends to gravitate towards any darker scent, even like Amouage Boundless, if you've tried that. So don't be off put by that, the fact that my wife wore this. It smells amazing. I'm smelling it in the air. This is, oh man, it's mouth watering. This is a fruity tobacco. I think there's apricot in here. Juicy, sweet, and fruity. My mouth is literally watering. And you do get the earthy, kind of dry tobacco grounding it. And there's some other things playing around, but that's mostly what I get, at least on this paper. Fruity tobacco. not honey tobacco, not smoky tobacco. Those two are pretty common. Fruity tobacco, really nice stuff. Great quality. This one lasts great. It projects well. I was smelling it on her all day long. It's a lovely fragrance. And they have many fragrances that are wonderful. They have one more that I probably will feature in the vlog that is too perfect for the fall. So that is a little preview of Tobacco Royal. I have a link down below with the discount code if you do want to check it out. But yes, this is going to be great. Again, it's like ripe apricot. And for some reason, that just reminds me of the fall. A fruit like that, you know, more so than like a citrus, or I can't think of another one, but you get what I mean. Perfect for the fall. That is Tobacco Royal. Alrighty, we have any other comments here? I see Hot Review is here. Good to see you. Yeah, what a view, right? This is incredible. We have one more fragrance to feature. And again, this is a scent that I have featured in a live stream before. I did a live first impression, and it was actually in the video that I put out yesterday, but I didn't actually talk about the scent. If you saw yesterday's video, you might know what this is, but you're about to find out either way. Thomas Adam, good to see you. Okay, wow. I have not even put it up to my nose, and it's everywhere. This is easily one of the strongest fragrances that I have smelled in a while. It'll probably be the strongest one I'm wearing this season. It is so intense. The reason why I'm leaning over is because it's affecting me right now. It is so intense. You probably guessed it. Amouage, Royal Tobacco, the opposite of Tobacco Royal, which is funny. Royal Tobacco, one of their newest releases here from the new and kind of reimagined library collection. Wow. Perfumed by Cecile Zarokian, one of my favorite perfumers. I had a lot of you guys asking me about this, especially in my video yesterday, where I didn't really review it. I just talked about how, like, yes, they sent this to me for free, but I don't really need it. Again, that's a whole nother topic. You can check out the video from yesterday if you want to learn more. Talking about, what was the video about? It was myths, 5 myths in the fragrance community. Anyway, Royal Tobacco. This is, it's a fragrance I'm still learning. There's so much going on here. It's a fragrance that I honestly struggle to smell up close, even on paper. That's why I didn't bring it up to my nose right away. Up close, it is a lot. And not in the most pleasant way, but not in an unpleasant way. It's just like sticking your nose. What's something that's intense but mild? Sticking your nose into how about a heated blanket? That's so weird. Sticking your face into a heated blanket. That's pretty warm. That's like the level of intensity I get when I smell this up close. That may not be very comparable for you at all, but maybe you can at least use your imagination. It is intense. I see Hot Reviews asking about any comparisons. The best way I can compare this fragrance, based on my experience, is if you take Interlude Man from Amouage as the base, without the oregano, without kind of the weirdness, that's what I'll say. If just that heavy incense, that dark, smoky incense that's thick, that is the base. And on top of that, they've built fruits and tobacco and spices and other things. So it almost has like a known DNA. And in that way, it belongs to Amouage. You can tell that, yes, this is an Amouage scent. Heavy incense. It has both a coolingness and a warmth. It has cardamom, which makes it cooling and fresh with the spiciness, and then has some warmer spices as well. The tobacco definitely kind of behaves both ways, and it's like affected by both halves, cooling and warm. It is a little bit sweet. I think there's like a prune like note, or it's like plum or dried plum in that realm. There's something like that in here that it's not going to, I was just talking about fruity tobaccos like this is, but this definitely has more surrounding that fruitiness than the tobacco royal, and it's smokier. This is a smoky scent, whereas the other one is not. Incensey smoky, a little bit sweet and fruity, but it's shrouded by the smokiness. It's shrouded of the incense, that is, and it's shrouded by um, some spices. Very intense. Again, super strong. Fortunate, and the funny, well, I had Grace smell this blindly on camera in the vlog. She had never smelled it. I took a gamble because I wanted to make it my scent of the day. I sprayed it on my hand. She didn't see me spray it. I had her smell it. And if she liked it, I was going to wear it. If she didn't like it, I was going to probably go a different direction. But she loved it, and she was complimenting me all day. So more to come, obviously, on Amouage Royal Tobacco. I will be talking about this shortly again in the vlog. Do not blind buy this fragrance. You heard me. Do not blind buy this fragrance. I think they might have a discovery set available. I think I have it linked down below. I know I have the library collection linked down below, but I don't remember if they actually have samples. So if they do, check it out. Let's see. Hot Review says sounds complex. Yes, it is complex for sure. Stuart says not related to this live at all. Will you do a review of Mansa Musa? I don't know. I need to wear it some more. I actually have reviewed it on my Instagram page, but I have not reviewed it on YouTube. I need to revisit it, but it's a nice scent. Yeah, don't blind buy it. I already have my credit card out. No, that's too much money to spend on a very complex fragrance that you cannot guarantee you'll love. That's just my point of view. Now, by me saying don't blind buy it, you already know I cannot control your life. I have no control over your life. You don't have to listen to me, but I am doing my due diligence and telling you, you don't need to go blind buy this. Just because I said I like it, just because I said it's good to me, that doesn't mean you have to go buy it. But if you're truly interested and you have the money to blow, and you won't be off put if you don't completely enjoy it, and you do what you do. It's your life. Do your thing. But I'm just trying to be real with you. Okay. I'm not going to make this a fantasy and say, hey, it's amazing, you should go get it now. There's enough of that going on around YouTube. Let's be real about it. All right. There's no hurry. This thing is not going anywhere anytime soon, as far as I know. But get you a sample if you can. I can easily say that. Okay. That's going to do it for me here. I didn't want to take a ton of your time. Just a little preview of what is to come. One more thing before I go. I'm really excited about this, and I want to give you a little bit of insight. I filmed the next episode of the skit series, of my parody series that I call What You Think You Smell Like. I filmed it yesterday. And if you're not familiar with that series, you've been missing out. But if you go on my playlists on my channel, you'll find it. It's called What You Think You Smell Like. There's at least like 6 episodes out. And each episode takes me about an hour to film and probably about 3+ hours to edit. And even more time, maybe an hour to even write. It takes me time to have to write the script and everything. It takes a while. I filmed it. I had a lot of resistance. It's been 6 months since I did the last episode. And that episode didn't do well. I had a lot of resistance. I'm like, do I want to continue the series? I already had plans for how I was going to wrap it up. But I finally just kind of sat down. Well, I was flying back from London. If you didn't know, I was in England for 4 weeks. And I wrote the script while on the plane. And I filmed it yesterday. And it was kind of cathartic to film it. I'm really proud of it. That's coming next week sometime. So I do encourage you guys to stay on the lookout for it and check it out. If in the meantime, if you have not caught up on the series, I do recommend it. Again, if you're looking for something a little bit different, well, a lot of bit different here in the fragrance community for videos. If you don't just want another top 10, if you want to laugh, if you want to think, I think these videos will give that to you. So I do encourage you to check it out. Those of you who have seen the series, you can sound off and let people know what they're missing. Anyway, thinking is hard. If thinking is hard, then life is hard. But life doesn't have to be that hard. Okay. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here on this lovely Saturday, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening for you. I hope the rest of your day goes beautifully. All of your dreams come true, whether that be fragrant related, whether that be financially, whether that be just with your spirit. I hope you just find happiness for the remainder of this day. And if you haven't checked out yesterday's video, check it out. If you haven't checked out last year's vlog, again, it's linked down below. Do check that out. And yeah, thank you guys again. I will talk to you soon. Take care in the meantime. Later.